What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing a tier list of every single card from Season 6 in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So basically, lads, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be ranking them a little bit differently. It's not going to be like S to D tier or worthless tier. We're going to put them into different tiers. There are the game-changing cards. And these guys were cards that defined the season. These guys were the guys that really changed everything when they were brought in the game. Like, that could be a free card that changes everything. That could be a just S tier card in general. Or it could just be someone that was cheap and just changed the way the game was played. Then we got great cards. This is our really good cards that we had maybe similar, maybe better players in previous seasons, but they're still really good cards. Now we have the budget beasts. There's going to be a lot of guys in the budget beast category that you might think are worse than the guys in the meh category. Like, the meh is, I don't know, is Melo the best player to just define as meh? Like, they're fine, they're usable. Only for XP. These are some cards that literally the only reason anyone uses them is to get JR for their 150k XP. Then we have got, did anyone use them? Guys, I have actually no idea if anyone used or not. Then we got filler cards. Cards that I don't even think were meant to be used in game. I'm pretty confident these cards were not even meant to be used in game. The only thing about them was that, like, they were used in game solely because, well, they weren't used at all. Maybe someone used them occasionally for XP, but there's none other that I can think of anyway. There is no other player that I can think of in this scenario. So, anyway, now let's get on to it. So, Alex Caruso. I'm going between meh and budget beast. I would say budget beast, because again, he's like 10k. If he was more expensive, we would have him in meh. But because he is a very, very cheap point guard, he's very good. Like, again, for Alex Caruso, you're paying less than 10k MT, give or take a little bit. Like, I'm pretty sure he's less than 10k if I'm not mistaken, which is not a bad price at all to pay for a guy that is as good as him. A 6'6" point guard is an overall good card. We got 130 players, so we got to go through these quick. AK, great card. AK definitely, he's not a game changer. Like, he's a cone. When he came out, he was one of the best cards in the game. I'm going to say that when he came out, he was one of the best cards. For what he did, based on it on quick, an elite cone, he was unbelievable. He's like a worse version of Danny Ferry. It's just, after he came out, there was a whole bunch of guys that did very similar things to him that came out. So for me, anyway, I think you can't put him in game changer because, like, as good as he is, he's not a game changer. Andre Miller, meh. He's not, it's a tough one because, like, he's free, he takes a little bit of time, but he's not as good as Caruso. And he also does take quite a bit of, he takes a decent amount of time, and you need 11 Cleveland Cavaliers players to get him. Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. He's either going into budget beast or meh. I know he's free, but I think meh is probably the best place to put him. Artis Gilmore, filler card. Actually, only for XP. He had like 2,000 XP attached to his point scoring objective. So, like, he actually, a lot of people used him for XP. A lot of people played with him just purely for XP. If you ever saw anyone using Gilmore, you better believe they were taking every single shot with Gilmore. So he's in the only for XP category. Harvita Sabonis. This is a tough one, because I've never played against him, but I've used him, and he's not terrible. Because I don't really want to put him in meh, because he's better than meh, but he's also not in great card category. Also, did anyone use them? Is a decent category for a card like this. I'll put him in great card. He might get moved down, because again, he's not a budget beast. The way you've named these categories, if he goes moved down, he gets moved down probably to did anyone use him, because I'm not calling this card meh. You cannot say that he's meh. But you also could ask, did anyone actually use the card? Simmons, game changer. No question about it. Absolute game changer. 6'10 Curry sliding point guard, dunks on everybody. If you're on current gen, his speed glitch is ridiculous, his dunk is ridiculous. All I'm saying is for you current gen guys, you better be glad that the tween's not still in the game this year. Because man, if the tween was still in the game and Ben Simmons was still out here tweening like his 2K20, it would be GG's. Then we got Billy Cunningham. He's the definition of meh. He's okay. Like, he's not good, he's not awful, he's okay. Billy Owens, meh. Like, he was used quite a bit. And, like, his hot zones kind of killed him. He had a lot of good things going for him, though. I will say that is the card did have a lot of things going for him. Like, a lot of people were very, very excited about this card when he came out. It's just the problem with Billy Owens was, one, he was in a non-hyped content drop. Two, they gave him no hot zones. Like, they only give him hot zones in the corners, which doesn't really matter for two guard. There's a lot of, like, in my opinion, Lionel Simmons is a better card. I know most people won't share that opinion, but that is just my opinion. Blake Griffin, great card. Definitely not a game changer. I don't think he's... I don't know. I think Ty is probably a lot higher than him than I am. He's alright on next gen. For some reason, 2K insists on giving cards Pro 2 Escape when they can't actually do the Pro 2. They can't actually do Pro Escapes, which is hilarious. So, like, they gave Blake Griffin Pro 2, and I know a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, Blake Griffin can curry slide. I'm like, he's 250 pounds. He can't do anything. He can't dribble at all to save his life. Like, weight is such a big factor. Like, if you're over 220, if you're 6'10 above, you're not going to be able to curry slide in current gen. And on next gen, if you're over 245 pounds, you're not going to be able to curry slide. So, yeah, that's just a not great, not, like, well, it is a very good card. He is a great card. Not game-changing card. That's probably the best way. Bobby Jones, I'm going to say game-changing in the reason that he may change how Evo or how the exchange works. He may be the, like, I don't mean specifically Bobby Jones. I mean very similar exchanges to Bobby Jones. He was the first ever exchange where you didn't need any original owner players. He was the first ever exchange that I wouldn't say was a borderline scam. He was the first ever exchange you might actually have an argument that it was worth doing. So because of the fact, like, literally, the fact that people aren't as negative on the exchange now as they were prior to the card, I think putting him in anything other than game changing, because he has changed everyone's opinions towards one massive concept in the game, I think it's hard to not put him in game changing. And he's a really good card as well, which definitely helps. Then we have got Bob Lanier. Did anyone use them? Like, yeah, if you want to say only for XP, maybe. Did anyone use Bob Lanier? I've never played him. Actually, no, I have. Someone dominated with Bob Lanier in a game against me when I was using... I was playing a game for... Can't even remember who the gameplay was. Oh, it was when I used, like, my all Ruby squad and the guy had all Dark Matters and Bob Lanier. That was a really weird, and the guy didn't miss for, like... He didn't white a wide open shot for the whole game. Some absolute demon was using him. But that was the one time this season I played against Bob Lanier. Bull, game changing. He's the best. He's very good on... Apparently he's great on next gen, on current gen as well, but he's the best on next gen. Bull's movement, 157 speed. His 3-point is pretty good. He's got range. His defense is great. Man, tall players just move too fast on next gen. They really do move too fast. But yeah, we're going to put him into the game-changing category anyway. Then we got Boris Diaw. He's like 7k MT right now. He's a budget beast. Boris Diaw is fantastic. His release is chicken. He's got Gallo base. He's like a juiced up version of Detlef Schrempf. He's got a great jumper. He's got the Pro 3 behind the back. He's also got basically all the key Hoff badges. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is one of those. This card's gone underrated. He might be the most underrated card in my team. He might be the most underrated. Bradley Beal. Meh. Like, he's actually alright on next gen. His release is unbelievable. I've actually played against him quite a lot because, again, he was a free card, so I can't even say did anyone use him because a lot of people got Bradley Beal and used Bradley Beal, especially the first weekend he came out. But yeah, Beal is going to go in here into meh tier. He was alright. Then we got Ingram. Meh. Like, I think I maybe faced Ingram 3 times. I'm pretty sure, like, when he came out, more people were like, well, Richard Duma is equally as good. And he's also way cheaper, so would we not just get Richard Duma? That was the mentality of most people when Ingram came out. Then we got Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen is in... I'm going to say budget beast. Because he only needed, was it 8 Spurs players to get him? And Bruce Bowen was also out the same weekend as all the free players. I remember when 2K brought out the Bradley Beal and stuff, he was out that weekend. So a load of people just used the 8 Spurs players in my team limited that weekend and got Bruce Bowen. This weekend's, or this season's limited was well and truly the season of the overall cheese. Melo, meh. You have a lot of players that are in just the meh category. Like, I can't say Melo's a great card because he's not. He's evidently not a budget beast. I've played against him too many times to say, did anyone use him? He's just meh. Charles Oakley, did anyone use him? I've never faced Charles Oakley before. I've faced more Malik Beasleys than I've faced Charles Oakley's and Bob Laniers combined. So not Malik Beasley's, Malik Beasley's. Then I've faced both of those guys combined. I've never played them. Chris Bosh, great card. Chris Bosh really is really a great card. Like, as far as power forwards go, he's one of the best in the game. I don't rate him that highly as a center, but as a power forward, no, he's very good. He's very, very good. Then we got Mullen. Mullen's going in great card as well. Mullen's chicken. He is absolutely, absolutely chicken, lads. Like, his release is what keeps him out of one of the lower tiers, but his release is fantastic. Like, a lot of people are kind of sleeping on his Mullen card. I'm telling you, you can't sleep on him. He's really good. Okay, then we got CP3. Only for XP, maybe. Like, he was like 18k at the end of the season. And rightfully so, he's a 6 foot tall point guard. He's kind of fun to use. Some of his movement's good and his release is alright, but that's about it. Weber. Weber is going into the game-changing category. Because there was nothing like him when he came out. Dude was a 6'9" wide body point guard who could shoot. He was literally like a pink diamond Simmons that could shoot. I know you might be saying Grant Hill, but like, he was like the only player in the game that could deal with Grant Hill and could actually play offense. Like, he was a game changer. He really was a game changer, and you were seeing him on a lot of squads, especially for 100k. Now, obviously, we've got a few other players that play that role. Like, I'm even going to say Justice Winslow plays that role almost as well as him as that tall point guard. But I'm going to say game changer, Chris Webber. Clem Haskins, budget beast. He was so good when he came out. I don't know why he was so underrated. He was a little bit small. But, like, in my opinion, he's not that much worse than, for example, like an Emmanuel Quickly. Even to this day, I don't think he's that much worse than Quickly. So I think that budget beast is a fair tier for him. Katino Mobley, budget beast. Katino Mobley's really, really good. He's really good. Great shooter, great release, just great everything. Then we got Danny Ferry. Game changing. Numero uno. Maybe numero dos right now with Tony Kukoc. He's incredible. He's incredible on both gens. He's better than Kukoc in current gen. On next gen, it literally all depends on if you prefer a right-hander or left-hander release. Whether him or Kukoc is better, but I'm going to put Ferry in game changing. Then we got Garland. Did anyone use him? Like, he only comes with 600 XP as well. Did anyone use him? Miles, budget beast. Right now, 6'7" KMT. You can't go wrong with Darius Miles. He's a really good card. And 6'9", good release. I'm telling you, this card right here is a fantastic player. Then we got Darren Collison. Our first player in just... Would you say filler card for Darren Collison? Did anyone use them, maybe? No, he's a filler card. He's nowhere near. He couldn't even curry. He was just a card that's thrown packs. DeMar DeRozan. He was maybe the best 2 guard in the game, but he doesn't define the season. Like, we will forget. Like, when people talk about glitch reality, they will think about Bol Bol. They might think about Bobby Jones. It all depends on what way 2K go with the exchanges. And they will think about Danny Ferry. Just like when we think about the return Season 4. We think about Rudy Fernandez. We think about Terry Dishinger. We don't think necessarily about... I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good card from Season 4. Hakeem. Hakeem was a great card in Season 4. But that card doesn't define the season like a Terry Dishinger. Where that's the thing with DeRozan. Like, DeRozan's one of the best players to come out this season. But no one's... When we're looking back in August, is anyone going to remember that DeRozan came out in Season 6? I don't think so. It's just going to be, oh, remember when that DeRozan card came out. But these guys are going to define the Warped Reality season. Dennis Smith Jr. filler card. Did anyone use them? He could at least move a little bit. Need something to go from Darren Williams. He's my starting point guard, but he's only okay. He's great on next gen. But I mean, like, he's not that much. I just like his release. He's not that much better than Malcolm Brogdon. And Brogdon's like a couple of thousand MC. Like, I really like Darren Williams, but I can see why a lot of people don't like the card. Especially if you're on current gen, the guy's a trash can. Derrick Jones Jr. I mean, he's a filler card. He's a filler, or did anyone actually use the card? Did anyone use him? And speaking of did anyone use him, Devin Booker. Did anyone? I have never seen this card. He's almost extinct on the auctions. I've never seen anyone use him before. Like, let me know in the comment section if you have the Devin Booker and you use the Devin Booker. And let me know in the comment section also if you've ever played against Devin Booker. Because I'm not even 100% sure I've ever played against the guy. Like, he's one of the rarest players to ever come up against. Can we get Devin Vassell, Budget Beast? Budget Beast. Again, like, he's just a better Okoro, so I can't really say, like, he's a season-defining player. But no, he's a Budget Beast. Then we got the Mantis Sabonis. Great card. He's better than Harvita Sabonis. He is better than his dad, even though in real life... Demantis, you're a baller. You're an all-star. You're not even close to being as good as Arvidas. And Arvidas is one of those guys that could have gone down as one of the top 10 centers to ever play the game had he been able to run in the NBA. Man, prime Harvita Sabonis. Just watch clips of prime Harvita Sabonis play. It's a joy to watch. It is a joy to watch that guy play basketball. But then we got Dominique. Meh. Or did anybody use him? I've never played as Dominique. I've been playing as half the mystery plays. He's meh. He's only okay. Dwayne Wade. Only for XP. Like, I have never played against this Dwayne Wade. Maybe because I play on next gen. But I know a lot of people bought him. And a lot of people bought my one a couple of days ago. And I think they were trying to do the domination XP. You need 23 points in a game. And it's not like that's easy. Eddie Curry, game changer. Absolute season-defining player. The best budget center, and it's not even close. One of the top 7 centers that came out this season. Like, obviously, you've got Kareem, you've got Wilt, you've got Shaq. You've got Bosh. After that, Eddie Curry's maybe the next best. Then, obviously, no. Then you've got Giannis, who's not taking it. You're never going to play him center. And you got Blake. He's in that. Like, I don't think he's that much worse than Blake Griffin. I know a lot of people are going to call me crazy for that, but that's just my opinion. Cantor, filler card. Cantor was actually really good for one thing. Because for the Yusuf Nurkic challenges, you needed a Trailblazer center. And it was either, basically, these challenges either took forever if you didn't have LaMarcus Aldridge, who ended up costing like 30k. And I sold my LaMarcus Aldridge for like 30k because of that. And because I had Enes Kanter, I could complete the challenge really easy because Kanter was just better than Aldridge for completing them, I guess. So yeah, Enes Kanter, you're a filler card. I did use you for one specific reason during the season, but you were just a filler card moments challenge. Bledsoe filler card. Fat Lever. Never played against him. Didn't anyone use him? Like, we all hear great things about Fat Lever. So people are like, oh yeah, Fat Lever is this, Fat Lever is that. He's one of the best little point guards in the game. I never played against him this season. I used him for gameplay, that was it. Frank Ntilikina. He's not a budget beast because he's luck-based. Ntilikina... At this stage, I'm going to say meh, because we've got a lot of better point guys I'm going to put in the great cards, but say meh. Gary Trent Jr., did anyone use him? Like, he wasn't a filler card, because again, he's a Galaxy Opal they brought in for moments packs. But again, did anyone actually use the card? That is the $1 million question. Is did anyone actually use the card? Gerald Green. Did anyone use them? I've literally never played against Gerald Green before. I've literally never played against him. Like, again, most of these mystery cards I've never played against. Then we have got Giannis. Great card. Is he better than some guys in game changing? Yes, but I don't think he was a game changer. I think you could argue that he's one of the best cards in the game. But he didn't change. He doesn't change the game like these guys above. He didn't change the way the game was played. He was just the best. He was just one of the best. So he's by far the best player in the great card tier. He's a lot better than Eddie Curry. You can argue he's the second best card we've seen so far. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in the great card because he wasn't a season-defining player necessarily. He might get moved up. Grant Hill was a season-defining player though. He really was a season-defining player. Grant Hill was fantastic, lads. He was absolutely fantastic. He still is. He's still arguably the best point guard in the game. Curry slide, good release. He dunks on everybody, great defense. And I mean, having used both of them on current gen, I have more success with Hill than I do with Simmons. On next gen, I have not even used Hill, but I've played against him and he's tough. Simmons though is a god though on next gen. And I'm going to put Grant Hill into the game changing tier. Hakeem Warwick, budget beast. Definitely budget beast at the right space for Hakeem Warwick. We are not even halfway through, so I got to speed up this. I don't want this tier list to be an hour long. Amon Shumpert, meh. I'm not going to say he's good enough for a budget beast, but he's not bad. He's fine. He's like objectively fine as a card. Emmanuel Quickly. I get it, he was free, and a lot of people used him, so I'm going to put him in meh. I don't think... I mean, he was really easy to get. For guys just starting out the game, you just have to like win triple threat offline games. So I'm going to put Quickly in the budget beast. Maybe he was online. Either way, you get him 2 hours. That weekend, Emmanuel Quickly, I'm going to play him. I'm going to put him in budget beast. Isaac Okoro, budget beast. He was fantastic. He still is. Again, I don't know why I keep saying was. It's like the guy still is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to put him there. Jaron Jackson Jr., game changer. Game changer. When he came out, there were like no good centers in the game for under like 40k. People were still using Sabonis, and he became one of the best centers in the game, period. So it's hard to not put him there. And yeah, I still think he belongs into the game changing tier. I think it's for the same reasons Eddie Curry. He changed the way people run with budget centers. Culver. Filler card. I don't know why they brought him into the game. Jason Richardson, filler card. Absolute filler card. JaVale McGee, budget beast. One of the best budget centers in the game. Not great on next gen, good on current gen though. Jason Tatum. Great card. Both the Tatums are going to the same tier because they're the same card. Literally the only difference between these Tatums is that one has Hot Showtime, one has Gold Showtime. And obviously a couple of little small differences stat-wise, but it doesn't really make... Like they feel the exact same in-game. They're the exact same in-game. Then we got Jeff Green. Man, only for XP. Considering the fact you can get his 800 XP in one game. And I know that because, like, as of the, like, right before I'm recording this, I'm very, very close to getting... I'm, like, less than 10k away from getting J.R. Smith, and Jeff Green's challenges the fact that you knew in one game is the most recent challenge I have done, his 10 dunks. Jerry Sloane. I mean, I would like to put him in grade card. I've started using him more on next gen. He's meh. He is meh. I really liked him at the start of the season. I really did. I think meh is probably the right place to put him. If I'm being honest, that's where I probably have to go. Jimmy Butler filler card. He didn't even have at least LeBron had 1 XP challenge every single week. At least LeBron had like a couple of thousand XP every week last season. Jimmy Butler had XP at the very start of the season. That was it. Nothing else. So yeah, Jimmy Butler into filler card. Joakim Noah. Did anyone use Joakim Noah? I'm going to just say that. Like, I used him. I've maybe come up against one Joakim Noah this season. Like, I used him quite a bit. A few people used him the day he came out, but I don't think anyone has used Noah since. I don't even did anyone actually use him. Then we got Joe Smith. He's good, but I'm going to put him in meh. He's not quite in the very good card category. He's not quite in the very good card. He didn't define the season. And I'm not... Budget Beast, right? Maybe Budget Beast is the right spot for Joe Smith. Because he's only like 5. He's only 5k. Go get up in the Budget Beast, Joe Smith. You're good. John Collins, filler card. All of these guys, I'm gonna, these glitch market cards that are look based, I'm just gonna say they're filler cards. I'm going to say they are just filler cards. JR, great card. No brainer there. As much as people don't like talking about this card or like talking about this card negatively, he's still a great card in game. I don't think anyone can deny that. So he's there. Julius Randle. Randle's good. Randle's very, very good. He's very underrated. Just not a lot of people got the card, which is a bit of a problem. Is when nobody's actually getting the card, no one realizes how good the card actually is. So Julius Randle, yeah, you got the great card. Winslow. I actually think the game was affected more at the Warp Reality set than anyone else. I'm gonna put Winslow in S tier or in game changing tier because he is one of those guys that will define the season. He is definitely one of those guys that will define the glitch reality season. So I think putting him in any other tier would just be diminishing the impact that a card like him has had on the game and just the way people use their point guards. Like, he's a tall, fast point guard, good shooter, range extender, clamps. Like, he's the first really of his kind. Like, in my opinion, he's like very comparable to Lonzo Ball, the Opal, except he's nowhere near the same price. Obviously, you got to put a badge on him, but still, I rate him very, very highly. Next, we got Yusuf Nurkic. I'm going to change the criteria for use for XP, and I'm going to say use to get Kukoc. Because that's literally, I think the only time you will ever see Yusuf Nurkic is if someone's using it to get Kukoc. There's no other reason, like, unless there are some Trailblazers fans out there. But for me, the use to get Kukoc / use for XP is the only reason why anyone's using Nurkic. Kareem was game changing when he came out. He really was. Obviously not so much nowadays. He's just one of the very good centers, but he was the best by a country mile of the centers that came out when he came out. He was way better than D-Rob. So I'm gonna say game changing for him. Keldon Johnson did a filler card. They just put him in. They just put him in that weekend. He was terrible. Kelly Oubre, used only for, like, literally again, Oubre only if you're grinding for Kukoc. Kevin Durant, great card. Yeah, one of the best 2 guards. Actually, dude was a 6'10" 2 guard. Game changing. Game changing. He came in the out of position set, and he was a 6'10" 2 guard. That's fair. Kevin Porter Jr. Whoever JR is. Great cards. They're basically the same card. Definitely not game changing. Heinrich, Budget Beast. Heinrich is a card that I'm a huge fan of. I know a lot of people do like him, and more people probably don't like him than do like him. But I am a massive, massive fan of Kirk Heinrich in this game. I think his release is good. I think everything about the card is good. Kobe, great card. Like, obviously, if I have Harvita Sabonis in this tier, and I'm probably taking Harvita Sabonis out of this tier, but he is most definitely belongs in the great card tier. I think putting him into the game-changing tier is just wrong because he's not a game-changing player, and I think putting him in meh is letting the fact that is letting the fact that he's not good on current gen overrule the fact that he's actually pretty good on he's not good on next gen, overrule the fact that he is very good on current gen. So great card. Hawks Korver, budget beast for Kyle Korver. So there we go. Kyle Korver is gone into budget beast. Again, a really, really great card that is very cheap. So, budget beast. Kuzma, great card. Definitely not a game-changing player. Definitely not a season-defining player. One of the best players at his position, though. Even still, and especially when he came out during Warped Reality. But, nah, he's just a great card. Kyle Lowry, filler card. Where else can I put him? He doesn't get that much XP. Like, well, you do need to play like a full game to get his XP. It's not like you can do his XP in triple threat. You have to basically do it in like a domination or a online setting or a challenge. Also, he's a 6 foot tall point guard, and 2K just put him in as a filler card because you have to give someone a locker code. Like, he's the only one where the term filler card isn't even that bad a thing. Because you know what, when they gave him to us free, it was alright. I didn't mind it, but is what it is. LaMelo Ball, game changer. Game changer for when LaMelo Ball came out. You can't tell me that every single player whose squad cost less than 750k was not running. Every single one of them weren't running LaMelo Ball. You can't tell me that every one of them was not running LaMelo Ball. There is no question about it. LaMelo Ball has had more of an impact on this season than, for example, an Andrei Kirilenko. I mean, actually, no. Let's put Giannis in the top tier. Putting Giannis down there when every competitive player would run Giannis is just wrong. But you can't tell me LaMelo Ball hasn't had a huge effect. Lionel Simmons. I'm going to go budget beast. But he changed next gen. He was a game changer on next gen for me, especially at his price. But I think it is kind of I'm not gonna put him in game changer. I think budget beast is almost equal to great card. Lonzo, great card. He's not a game changer by any means, but he's still one of the best point guards in the game, especially on current gen. If we're talking next gen, give me probably Justice Winslow over him, but I think great card's fair for him. Luka Doncic, filler card. Magic Johnson, meh. Like, he wasn't. I play against him too much. I played against this card way too much for me to say did anyone use him, because I know a lot of people used him. A lot of people tried him out. I just don't particularly like the card right now. Then we got Malcolm Brogdon, budget beast. Malcolm Brogdon is in budget beast. So yeah, let's put him there. And I think that's probably a fair place for him. He's a good shooter, half steady / blinders, just an overall good player. Malik Beasley, filler card. He was just there because I had to put in token reward cards. Mark Eaton, filler card. Like, no, he was just there. Nobody used the card. Marquise Johnson. I mean, he's 20k. The only reason anyone would use him is for XP, but like, what? I've never played against the guy. Did anyone use him? Did anyone use this card? I don't know. So he's going into did anyone use them? Bagley. I have not played Bagley once this season. Yes, he's a pretty decent card. And some might say, oh, he's a budget beast. I mean, I can't call it, dude. I've never played a budget beast. Like, I've literally never played him. So I don't know. I don't know what I can do. I've never played the guy, so I guess I never played against the guy, so I guess he's in who's used them. Matt Bonner, budget beast. He's probably the next tier down of great budget centers below Eddie Curry and Jaron Jackson Jr. Mel Daniels, great card. He wasn't a game changer because he's just like a cone. He's just like a worse version of Giannis, although he was the first Dark Matter free card. Michael Redd. I have not faced Michael Redd once this season. I have not faced him once this season because of how much they've killed the unlimited game mode. I'm going to say it. The unlimited reward is just a filler card. I'm going to say he's just a filler card because for 99, and I know for a fact there are people watching this video being like, "Oh, I got Michael Redd and I love Michael Redd." You're in the 0.1%. I don't know. I've not seen anybody get this card. I say it as that I've not seen any, or I'm not playing against anyone who's had this card. And again, I've played against the top guys SBMM wise. I've played against all the best players in Europe that are on this gen. Boz and everybody with the really high overall records, which means I know in SBMM wise I'm in the top bracket of players. I still haven't faced a Michael Redd. Michael Sweetney, filler card. He was garbage. Mike Bibby, filler card. Yao Ming. Did anyone use them? I don't know. Mo Peterson. Did anyone ever use Mo Peterson? Miles Turner. Meh. He wasn't necessarily filler card. He was a look-based card at the very start of the season, but yeah, he's very meh. Vucevic. Did anyone use him? Again, I literally just bought the guy for a couple of K because he has 1,000 XP attached to him. Did anyone use this card? Norman Powell. Low end of budget beast. Definitely low end of budget beast. I don't rate him that highly, but he's low end of this tier. Obi Toppin Game Changer. Free Opal Locker Code. I'm telling you, the weekend when Obi Toppin came out, because the Obi Toppin weekend was the weekend they have brought out all the free players quickly, like Millsap, like Beal. So many new players came into the game that weekend. So many. So that weekend, that is the season, in my opinion, that's the season defining weekend. Out of position packs followed by that, and I think Obi Toppin is a big part of that season defining weekend. Anunoby, meh. Millsap. I mean, I'm probably gonna put Millsap in game changing for the same reason as Obi Toppin, because when people think back on this season, they will think back. Actually, game changing, I'm gonna change that to season defining. What have I done? Season defining. That makes more sense. He's not a game changer, but Paul Millsap with that weekend is a season defining card. These are the guys you will think of when you think about season 6. When you hear Glitch Reality, you will think of these cards. I mean, technically, you might think of a level 40 reward, but these are going to be the main ones. Penny, great card. Absolutely fantastic card. Same with Pete Maravich. Both great point cards. One really good on current gen, one really good on next gen. Both not great on the opposite gens. Penny's okay on next, Pete's okay on current, but both fantastic on those gens, on the other gen. Precious Achua, budget beast. 2000 MT, this guy can ball. He can hit shots and he can play great defense. He belongs in the budget beast tier. Rondo, meh. Rondo and Darren Williams is a debate. I think Darren Williams is better. You can argue Rondo, but I think this is probably the best place we can put them. Ralph Sampson. I mean, he's season defining for the wrong reasons. I don't know. Meh. He's good on next gen. Let's just put him in great card. Let's just put him in great card because he's almost as good as Bol Bol on next gen. He's really good on next gen. He's awful though on current. Great card is definitely where I want to put him. He is a great card. He is season defining for the wrong reasons, being one of the worst rewards you end the season on, but he's not a season defining player. He's not a season defining player in a positive way. Rashard Lewis filler card. I don't care, he sucks. He absolutely sucks. Richard Duma, budget beast. 6k MT. The guy is a great player. He's a great card. Rick Smits. Meh. I played against him. A lot of people use him, so I can't put him in. Did anyone use him? But he's like worse Singular. Ron Harper. Meh. If you're on current gen, he probably goes into the great card category. But he's only okay. He's not good at all in next gen. And I have like 7 of him sitting in my rewards, which isn't great. Rudy, great card. Let's go him. Let's put him all the way up to the great card category. He's not a season-defining player, but a great player. Really is great. Really Caruso, these all exchange awards. I'm just going to say they're all filler cards. Hachimura. If I have got Hachimura, I've just pulled the screen off to the side. So Hachimura is going to go into great card as well. Like, in my opinion, he's like slightly worse Kuzma, but some people think he's slightly better Kuzma. Westbrook, meh. Slightly better Darren Williams. He's actually very solid in next gen, but I just can't, in good conscience, put a Russell Westbrook card. In good conscience, I cannot put a Westbrook card in great card. Ryan Holland's filler card. He was terrible. Sean Elliott, budget beast. Yes, he wasn't technically a budget player, but everyone that, like, he's very easy to get him XP wise. Everyone got him XP wise, and he's a really good card. Shaq. I don't know. I'll put Shaq in great card. No, 3-point Shaq is a season defining. It doesn't even matter if he's good or not. 3-point Shaq is a season defining card. Sinvular, meh. Slightly better Rick Smits. A lot of people kind of had fun with him on the day he came out. No one's really used him since. Dimwitty, did anyone use them? I mean, I've used Dimwitty. I've never seen anyone else use them. Steph Curry, meh. Like, Steph is in the Westbrook, Darren Williams range. I'm gonna move Harvita Sabonis down to meh as well. Like, if I'm put like the great, he does not belong in that great players category. Then we got Steve Novak. He was actually he's the best sapphire in the game. I'm still gonna put him filler card because he literally is. He's almost the definition of a filler card, but yeah, he's not terrible. Taco, I mean, nobody got him. I've never played against him, but he's a season-defining card. He really is a season-defining card. If we, like, as much as we don't want to talk about it, Taco Fall is a season-defining card. Like, the amount of people were trying to get him, the amount of hype for the card, he was really season-defining. And for that reason, I'm putting Tyronn Lue in season-defining as well. And there is no card that deserves to be in season-defining more than Ty Lue. Like, how hyped everyone was about this one gold player. I know someone who actually got Ty Lue after they got J.R. Smith, and they had 300,000 XP, which is hilarious. But yeah, Ty Lue, season-defining, no question. Then we've got Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young, I mean, he was a budget beast for a while. So he's going to go in there. Not great now. Kukoc, season-defining. Absolute god-tier player. And he was free. He was what we were working towards all season with those cards, and he definitely belongs in the top tier. Tracy McGrady, just a great card. One of the best 2 guards, but again, he's not a season-defining player. He's not someone that you're going to look back on in Season 6 and say, oh, he came from Season 6. Trey Young, did anyone use them? Ariza. Ariza could go in any of these top 3 tiers. I think he came out too late in the season to be season defining. If he had come out in the mellow drop, I think he would have been season defining because I think he would have saved the mellow drop. I'm going to put him top of the budget beast category. Like, he's one of the best 2 guards, so you could easily put him in the great card category, but in my opinion, great cards like budget beast, like, this isn't necessarily ranking by like order. Like, there's some guys in the Met tier that are better than the budget beast tier. This is me just putting them into different tier categories. This is basically me just putting them into 6 or 7 different categories, more than it is me ranking them from worst to best. Tyrese Halliburton. I'm going to put Tyrese Halliburton. Season defining. He was the first big elite point guard. He came out in that flash drop, and for 15k, the guy could compete with the best cards in the game. He really, really was an incredible card in game, and he's one of those cards that you're going to remember back. And like, when we look at these cards, these are the cards people think of most fondly in the season, and Halliburton is one of them. Oladipo, I've never played against him. Did anyone use him? Like, he's alright. Did anyone ever use Oladipo? Wendell Carter Jr., filler card. Will Barton, when he came out, especially at the start of the season, he was a budget beast. He was fantastic in those first few days of the season. Will Chamberlain, I mean, he's 3-point Wilt. He's a season-defining player. 3-point Wilt, that god-tier Kareem at the start, and the Shaq. Those three centers really, really were season-defining players for the best of the best guys. Then we have Levine. Levine's going into great player. Levine is going into great player. And you better believe it, Yuta is going into a season-defining player. Of course, Yuta defines Season 6 for DBG. Without question, Yuta defines Season 6 for us right here. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. We've got season-defining, great card, budget beast, meh, only for XP, did anyone use them, and filler cards. So that is pretty much it, lads. We have ranked every single card from Season 6, which is kind of crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.